Okay, people. So yeah, I went to go see a Lilo and Stitch, right? The live action version of the animated Disney Classico. Um yeah, it is directed by Dean Fleischer Camp, written by Chris Kekaniokalani Bright and Mike Van Was. It is produced by, let's have a look, Dan Lin and Jonathan Erich. It is executive produced by Ryan Alprin, Tom C. Petzman, Louis Provost, and Thomas Schumacher. It is co-produced by Laurie Congolbel, and associate produced by Kurt Humphreys. So Dan Romer took care of the music. It's Nigel Bluck on cinematography. Adam Gerstle and Philip J. Bartell handle editing duties, with Rachel Whitley on casting. Right, production design, we have Todd Chernowoski. Art direction is Ann Costa, Angram Lee, and Julian Pugner. Katrin Hong and Vanessa Fonari, a set decoration. Costume design is Wendy Chook. Hair and makeup, we have got Sheldon Yamuchi, Kekapani Vasquez Tamali, Kakala Tamana, Maria Sandoval, Catherine Sanchez, Karen Ibushi Prezier, Ralph Malani, Cliff Malani, Dennis Linnard, Melody Levy, Amber Mafala Lee, Mia Covero, Drew Allen Johnson, Julia Gadina Martin, Mahalani Diego, Chantel Bumla, and Nina Bellord. So yes, that was that. We've got Niviv Bartels on VFX and our cast. Okay, let's get to our splendid cast. Well, we have got Lilo, played by Maia Kealoha. Her older sister and guardian, Nani, is played by Sydney Agudong. Their friend and neighbor, Tutu, is played by Amy Hill. David, who's also the neighbor, is played by Kaipu Dudit. You've got the social worker, that's her name, Mrs. Kekua, played by Tia Carrera. Stitch is once again voiced by Chris Saunders. Right, we've got what is his name? Dr. Jumba Jokiba, voiced by Zach Galifianakis. And Zach also plays the human version of Jumba. Billy Magnuson voices Agent Wendell Pelekai. right? And also portrays the human version of Pelekai. Courtney B. Vance is Cobra Bubbles, the CIA agent. We've got the Grand Councilwoman, who is voiced by Hannah Waddington. There is Myrtle Edmonds, who is played by Emery Hookano-Briel. There's Jason Scott Lee as the manager for La Luau, right, where Nani and David work. And who else is there? I mean, that's AJ is played by Celia Kenny. Blake Labenz is Kumuhula. Agent Foster, played by Skylar Babel. Agent Hoyan is played by Judy Nation. Agent Zhao, played by Christian Yang. The concierge lady is played by Courtney Coleman. Dr. Pereira is played by Christina Soares. Yeah, that's the main lot of people, I would say, right? So the gist of the film: a lonely Hawaiian girl befriends a runaway alien, helping to mend her fragmented family. Now, this is based on the 2002 animated Disney classic, right? So that's, man, a long time, right? A long time. 23 years. Whew. Now, there have been, I think there's like 2 sequels and a TV series based on, the original animated film. And I believe this takes aspects from the sequels and the TV show as well. So it's not just the original film, right? I haven't seen any of it. I just know it was mad popular, right? No, it was mad popular. But it's one of those things, you know what I mean? Like, you get to a certain point and you're just kind of like, I don't know about going to the cinema and watching a film that is basically aimed at kids, just because I know I'm most likely not going to enjoy it, right? But you give these things a go sometimes, and this was one of those times. So Dean Fleischer Camp, he directed Marcel the Shell with the Shoes On, which was, a big one. I think it won an Oscar, So he's from that fame, right? It is Chris Kalananani Bright's, I think, first feature writing gig, and just the second feature from Mike Van Waes. So they, it's their job to bring this to life. And, like, as I said, I haven't watched the animated version, so I'm literally coming in kind of fresh to this. And it kind of played well, you know what I mean? Like, I thought the animation on Stitch, that was all done very well. Obviously, you're not mistaking Stitch for a dog, but it looked all right. It didn't look clunky or too out of place, anything like that. The Dr. Jumbo and Angel Pelekai, they're fine. They didn't look too bad either. There is more of a CGI feel to them, right? But it's that kind of weird alien look kind of thing. I think the star of this really was Lilo, right? Maia Kealoha. she was really good. As just playing this little girl, rambunctious, but who loved her sister, was lonely, felt like an outcast, and just wanted someone to love, in this situation where she's lost her parents, and she's feeling adrift. And I thought she did a really good job. Also, Sydney Agudong, as Nani, was really good. I think you buy that sisterly relationship, and I think that's very important to the film, being able to buy those things. So I thought that all was definitely a high point of this, right? Those situations, that relationship. In the film itself, as a story, it's nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you've got this alien in this ship, kind of like Stitch crashes the ship, which is kind of crazy to think, right? You can put this alien is smart enough to get in the ship, but not smart enough not to know if I smash up everything, the ship's gonna crash, right? That is a bit weird. You know what I mean? It's a bit weird. There's probably other ways you could have it crashing on Earth, but it is what it is, Yeah, like, I guess when you have Stitch on Earth and, like, he terrorizes a wedding and then he's just all over the place kind of thing, you just kind of wonder how it could really be on the low, right? Without everyone knowing. Because people have taken videos and pictures at the wedding. So it's just like, how is this not more of a thing? I mean, even though they've sent the CIA there, like, you still think it should be a bigger thing than what it is. You know what I mean? Because even when Stitch is pretending to be a dog, Stitch don't look like a dog, right? So it's just like, you'd think there'd be more hubbub, right? You'd think there'd be more, but there's not. But, yeah, so you have that element of it. And then I guess it's just, there are bits where you just think, Lilo's a little kid, right? But you do think that she must know the situation they're in, right? With social services coming around and, she could be taken away if she doesn't stop messing around. So there's certain bits that you just think are a bit like, it's what we always see. You know what I mean? Like, you always see these scenarios. So, there's this bit when the kid is, and they're acting crazy, and it's just like, social services is going to take us. And then, it all gets sorted out. So the story is kind of stereotypical. It does play to the beats that we always see. But I think there were some sweet moments, especially at the end, right? And they're the familial elements. They're the elements about family, about, building these connections. I think those resonate. Those are the strong points of the film. You know what I mean? And I think that's fine, right? Because obviously this film is for little kids, essentially. And not to say adults aren't going to enjoy it. Because I feel if you like all the Disney stuff, then possibly you will enjoy it, right? But it's the main thing is this is for kids. So if you can have a story and it's got these principles in it, that's not a bad thing, right? So a little kid will go away and go, yeah, family's important, right? And it's kind of like, I can make a family, right? It's the people I hold close, the people I love. You know what I mean? Even if it's not the conventional, typical family that, you know, you might read about, right? A family's family, you know? So I think that's good. That's a good thing. That's a positive thing. So I think the film, right, though it's not breaking any ground, you know, it's not standing on its own in areas of wonderment and, you know, creativity. It looks good, right? It has some very nice moments to it. I think it will play to a younger audience, although there was a family next to me, and this mum had like I feel one kid who's probably, I don't know, like between 8 and 10, and then another kid that's probably like 3 or something. The little kid did not want to sit down. Questions all the way through. You know what I mean? Like, I'll, you know, but yeah, I think it is for a younger audience, you know, and I think it will play okay for them. So yeah, and as I haven't seen the animated one, I don't know how it holds up compared to that. Right? I mean, I did hear a couple leaving when I left, and they were like, it's good. It didn't. I prefer the animated version, and I will say there doesn't feel like there's that overall magic to it, right? It's there's it as I say, it has those nice moments, right? But you don't have that glow all the way through. You know, so it hasn't got that, but it's steady, it's decent, it's not offensive, it will, you know, it will hold you down for an hour and 40 minutes, right? So yeah, Lilo and Stitch, it's in the cinema right now.